But I just want to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Rita McGuire, and I am the Chief Medical Officer for Wakanna. We'll talk about our company, our movement, and welcome to our Lunch and Learn. This is a time where I really want to help people get past a negative stigma as it relates to the cannabis plant. So these are my three amazing children. Well, they're adults, thank God. I have a 29-year-old Jacob in the middle there, 24-year-old Joshua, the middle child, of course, and then my baby girl, Hannah. All three are college graduates. I'm just such a blessed mom to have three amazing adult children. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist. I've been practicing for over 30 years now. I'm still a practicing physician. I'm still doing hysterectomies, C-sections. I've transitioned my gyne surgery to more cosmetic surgery, tummy tucks, liposuctions. But 3 years ago, I was introduced to the cannabis industry. And it's just been such an amazing journey because I never thought as an obstetrician gynecologist practicing at a very conservative hospital, trained at a very conservative hospital, Wayne State School of Medicine, conservative medical school, that I would ever entertain cannabis. But 3 years ago, I did my due diligence, I did my research, I found out the amazing, amazing medicinal properties and benefits for my patients to have a holistic option or organic option to their health. And I was on board. And then what you'll learn today that many of you may not know is that cannabis has a part of the plant that gives you absolutely no high, but it gives you the health benefits without the high. And it's hard to believe that, right? Because when we think of the word cannabis, the first thing that comes to our mind is marijuana. But here I'm pictured, I am testifying. The governor of the state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, sent for me to testify, one of the only physicians to testify in the state of Illinois for the legalization and taxation of adult use cannabis. So my experience in the last 3 years is on both sides of the plant. On the marijuana side of the plant, advocating for patients, and the hemp side of the plant, advocating for patients. So truly, truly excited to bring you information today that's really going to end the negative stigma about the plant. So yes, I'm a physician that went from reading our contemporary OB-GYN journals, our green journals every day, to now a physician that's really quite inundated with articles and research about this plant, from Time Magazine all the way to Women in Weed, really helping consumers that go into Walgreens and CVS to really understand the medicinal properties of this plant. But it was really Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, many of you know, is the CNN correspondent that came out in 2013 and talked about the fact that we were systematically misled about this plant. 2013, he said, I didn't dig deep enough. I didn't dig far enough into the research to realize that this plant has so many medicinal properties. So because of that, cannabis truly has been mainstream for the last 7 to 8 years because of his public apology. But we've got to go way back, and we have to understand that the solution has always been in the ground, that cannabis is a plant, is an herb that has been referenced to even in the Bible. You know, we see from Genesis to Revelation that they talk about that this herb and this bearing seed is healing for the nations. We see in Ezekiel, you'll see other references of cannabis as cannabis, as an herb that was used to anoint the priests during the Old Testament. So lots and lots of information. Let's look at the anatomy of the plant. I think it's important to understand exactly what parts of the plant is used medicinally versus for industrial use. So the cannabis plant has two types of leaves. They have the fan leaves, which are the larger leaves here, and the sugar leaves, which are the tiny leaves by the flower and the buds of the plant. Well, it's the fan leaves that are most widely recognized, but they're least potent. So they're generally not used for medicinal extraction. The small sugar leaves, as you see here, are close to the buds, but they're most potent. They're useful for extracting the oils. The stems here are not very useful for medicinal purposes. They're used more industrially for clothes and paint and things of that sort. And then the flower and the buds, of course, this is also the very potent part of the plant where we get the flower to vape, to smoke, the oils for extractions. And then one of my favorite parts of the plant are these little tiny trichomes. So I had to blow up this area because they're very tiny, they're very close to the flower and buds, but they produce terpenes. They produce a part of the plant that gives it its aroma. I don't know if you've ever smelled a cannabis plant, but it has a woody, musty, skunky, kind of piney smell. Those are terpenes, and terpenes also have medicinal properties for the body. In fact, alpha pinene is one of the prominent terpenes that the plant makes, and it has medicinal value for the treatment of asthma, for the treatment of pain, treatment of ulcers, treatment of anxiety, and even cancer. Alpha pinene not only is found in the cannabis plant, but it's also found in pine needles, in rosemary, basil, parsley, dill. These are common herbs that we use in our kitchen. So alpha pinene is one of those terpenes that you may smell when you smell a cannabis plant, or even when you use a product that is cannabis based. And then the cannabis industry. During the time of slavery, cannabis was cultivated, cared for, and harvested by slaves. The American hemp industry was born in Kentucky. You know, Kentucky hemp industry was built on the forced labor of West African slaves who grew hemp seeds that their Virginian slave masters brought over to the country. In fact, Kentucky was the largest producer of hemp, and it was one of the largest populations of slaves during that time in our nation. For a century or more, hemp went on to be very, very important. In fact, it was a cash crop of the time. But until that Civil War occurred, then the decline on demand happened. So we have a very important part in the history of cannabis as African Americans. So the root of the stigma against cannabis really began and still occurs with words that we use when we talk about the plant. We use words like dope or reefer or marijuana, right? And these words are also a stigma and are a part of different cultures and races, like the African American and Caribbean and even Mexican. The word marijuana emphasizes the Mexicanness of the drug. So when we look at the cannabis plant before the 1960s, it was very much considered a drug for colored people. In the 1930s, during Prohibition, you know, it was Harry Anslinger who started not only the racist fears, but the stereotypes around this plant. He later on became the director of the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration. And then in 1970 is when cannabis really began to be an illegal drug and was a Scheduled I drug. In the 1930s, it's interesting to go back and look at the fact that before Prohibition, pharmaceutical companies like Parke-Davis and Eli Lilly and Pfizer, they all made cannabis-based medicine for 60 years plus before the rediscovery of aspirin. So the Marijuana Tax Act was passed to put large taxes, not only on physicians who wanted to continue to prescribe cannabis-based medicines at Eli Lilly and Parke-Davis and all these pharmaceutical companies that we know today, but it also put large taxation on the patient that wanted to use these cannabis-based medicine. So a Schedule I drug, when we go back to the war on drugs and President Nixon, a Schedule I drug is a drug that is deemed highly addictive, has no medicinal properties, and has a very severe safety profile. So that's where cannabis was scheduled, a Schedule I drug. So other Schedule I drugs are drugs like heroin, LSD, marijuana, cocaine. So we see that when we look at the plant as a family is called cannabis. That's really important to understand. And the family has two species. The two species are marijuana and hemp. And today you're going to really understand the difference between marijuana and hemp. The plant, the family, makes over 100 plus cannabinoids, not 85 plus. It's really 100 plus compounds that this plant makes. But the two most common compounds that this plant makes is THC, which is the psychoactive part of the plant, which is the part that gives us the euphoria, the high, the paranoia, right, if we take too much THC. And the other compound is CBD, or cannabidiol. It's the part of the plant that has no psychoactive component. It gives you no high, it gives you no paranoia, but it gives you the health benefits. So both species, the marijuana species and the hemp species, contain THC and CBD, but at different amounts. See, marijuana has high levels of THC. That's why when we use marijuana, you get high, you get paranoid, you get the munchies, right? Whereas hemp has very trace amounts of THC and have high levels of CBD. That's why when you take CBD products extracted from hemp, you don't get high. You don't get the munchies. You don't see deer in your garage. You don't get paranoid. But what you do get is this overwhelming calmness if you're anxious. Or maybe you'll get this overwhelming improvement in pain, inflammation in your knee, your elbow, your shoulder, your back. Or maybe you'll be able to sleep at night if you have issues with insomnia. So hemp versus marijuana, yes, they both come from the cannabis plant, but one gives you the health benefits because of the high CBD levels and low THC levels without the high. So let's look at CBD. Cannabidiol is, CBD is an abbreviation for cannabidiol. It's the second most common cannabinoid, we talked about it, next to THC. But again, unlike the mind-altering effects that THC has, CBD does not. In fact, I've been using CBD in my practice for the last 3 years. I've been using CBD personally for the last 3 years in conjunction with my patients who are on traditional pharmaceutical medications. You may ask why. Well, patients are seeking for holistic, organic, natural ways of addressing their life and improving their overall quality of life with an organic, natural product like CBD. So what makes CBD, what makes hemp or CBD extracted from hemp legal? Well, the 2018 Farm Bill was passed, and it is an Agricultural Improvement Act. And what it did, it removed hemp from the Schedule I substance act that it is or was to be legal now on a federal level. So no longer is hemp or its derivatives, including CBD, federally illegal, as long as the CBD comes from the hemp plant, which by definition contains less than 0.3% of THC. So now we can legally use, cultivate, consume, and grow hemp legally on a federal level. In fact, since 2018, we have institutions like UC San Diego that are undergone a lot of testing with CBD in adults. In fact, they're looking at CBD as a treatment in early psychosis. They are looking at the therapeutic response of CBD in rheumatoid arthritis. They're looking at CBD as a management of those adults who have insomnia. They're looking at CBD as a strategy to treat alcohol dependency. They're looking at CBD and its role in mealtime anxiety in those who have eating disorders like anorexia nervosa. They're looking at CBD and its role in autistic children, in children who have ADHD, in folks who have multiple sclerosis. So they're doing a wide range of CBD now since it is legal under the 2018 Farm Bill. So really exciting to understand that right now there's over 20,000 peer-reviewed articles as it relates to the medicinal benefits of CBD. So you can use your favorite search engine after our lunch and learn, or maybe this evening on your downtime, and you can use that search engine and find out all of the medicinal benefits of CBD, how it relieves pain, how it relieves anxiety, how it reduces inflammation, how it relieves psychosis, how it can stimulate the appetite in those who may be undergoing chemotherapy or HIV positive, how it reduces nausea in those, again, who may be undergoing cancer treatment, how it reduces seizures and convulsions, how it prevents nervous system degeneration. Those are people who have Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, even stroke victims, how it suppresses muscle spasms in multiple sclerosis, how it manages blood sugar in diabetics, how it treats psoriasis, skin disorders, eczema, acne, how it can inhibit cancer cell growth, how it can inhibit cancer cells from metastasizing, how it can reduce the risk of arterial blockage, those who have high cholesterol, who are at risk of coronary artery disease, how it can increase bone growth, how it can kill and slow bacterial growth. You may be asking, Dr. Rita, how can one compound do so much? How does CBD do it? I mean, 3 years ago, I honestly felt when I first heard about CBD that it was a snake oil, that it was a magical potion. You know, I wanted to see the science. As physicians, we want to see the science. We want to see the studies. And so there is real science behind how CBD works in our body, how cannabis works in our body. It's through the endocannabinoid system. And the endocannabinoid system is one of the most vital regulatory systems within our human body. We all have and possess an endocannabinoid system. In fact, it was discovered in the early 1990s when I was at Wayne State School of Medicine. They didn't teach us about the endocannabinoid system. In fact, less than 5 to 7% of medical schools are teaching this science about how cannabis works in our body. So it works by having receptors. And these receptors that are found throughout our entire body are looking for cannabinoids or compounds that the cannabis plant produces, like CBD and THC and CBN and the other cannabinoids, to keep our body in balance. So the whole role of this system is to put the body back in balance so that the body doesn't develop disease, so the body doesn't increase in inflammation, so the body doesn't keep us awake at night because of anxiety and insomnia. So these receptors that are looking for CBD are found in the brain, in the central nervous system. Those are the CB1 receptors. There's receptors in the immune system, in the periphery. Those modulate and regulate pain management. Those are CB2 receptors. In fact, there are receptors in every major organ and gland, like our eyes, our lungs, our liver, our kidney, our bowel, our skin, our stomach, our teeth, and our heart, our adrenal glands, our uterus, our ovaries, our testicles, our penis. Every reproductive organ and gland has receptors that are looking for CBD to put it back into balance. Even our body produces compounds just like the plant produces compounds. So anandamide is one of those endogenous cannabinoids that our body produces. In fact, if you were breastfed, your mom introduced you to a THC analog that our body makes, which is anandamide. It's an essential omega-6 fatty acid. It's a neurotransmitter. So it sends a message to the brain to say, guess what? Dr. Rita's feeling sad today. Increase that amount so she can feel happy, joyful, delightful, blissful. So it is the neurotransmitter or the endogenous cannabinoid that our body produces to make us feel happy. It comes from a Sanskrit word, ananda, that means bliss, that means joy, that means delight. There's another endogenous cannabinoid that our body makes that's found again in breast milk, and it's the most abundant endocannabinoid. It's called 2-AG. Now, 2-AG's purpose is to regulate and modulate your appetite, our immune system, pain management, circulatory system, managing and modulating and regulate your blood pressure, your pulse rate. It also suppresses seizures, and it is found in breast milk in higher quantities than anandamide. So these are two important endogenous cannabinoids that your body produces. So if you know anyone, or maybe you're on the webinar right now and you still are like, no to cannabis, I don't care if it's hemp, your body's producing cannabinoids just like the plant makes. So 2-AG is analogous to CBD, and anandamide is analogous to THC. So one of the number one reasons that people seek and use CBD is for pain. Number one reason, right? Most of you on the Lunch and Learn, you can put it right in the chat section. I want to see, what do you use for pain? Most people use acetaminophen or Tylenol. Other people use Motrin, Aleve, or ibuprofen. Some folks are on opioids because their doctor has prescribed opioids. But I want you to put right there in the chat box what you use for pain. And when we look at pain, we know that in 2015, the National Institute of Health estimated that 25 million Americans suffer from chronic pain. In 2018, the CDC estimated that 50 million people suffer from chronic pain. So inflammation, we know, is a major source of pain. It results in swelling, irritation, and localized pain throughout our body. Arthritis, be it rheumatoid or osteoarthritis, is caused by inflammation. We have neuropathy, sciatica, all of those nerve endings can be affected by inflammation and cause pain. Even anxiety and depression can manifest from inflammation of the brain. So we know that CBD, we learned in the other slide, has anti-inflammatory properties. That's why it helps with pain, be it pain in the brain, anxiety and depression, or physical brain that's in our body. So CBD is a safer choice, right? Because when we look at chronic use of folks that use Motrin, Aleve, ibuprofen, long term, we find that these people have chronic renal failure and now are at these dialysis centers. How many of you notice that there's a dialysis center almost on every other block if you live in Chicago? It's more common than Walgreens and McDonald's. Long-term use of acetaminophen or Tylenol causes liver damage. So even over-the-counter medication, long-term can cause failure to and damage to your internal organs. We even know that dentists truly are on board. They're looking and using CBD for their patients. Why? Because CBD can reduce anxiety and reduce fear just coming to the dentist. I hate going to the dentist, right? Not anymore because I have my CBD. CBD improves the quality of their sleep cycles. It helps to relieve pain. So we don't have to, as healthcare professionals, continue to give you Motrin, Aleve, or ibuprofen, even when you have a toothache. It can minimize the GI upset that those medications can cause on our stomach. There's also research that show that CBD might help heal gum disease, periodontal disease. How? By reducing inflammation and reducing bacterial overgrowth in the teeth. There are receptors in the teeth. So the endocannabinoid system has receptors in every single organ and gland of our body. Even massage therapists and estheticians are all jumping on board looking at CBD. Why? Because CBD can also interact with those receptors in the skin. They can reduce inflammation. They can improve the immune cells or those Langerhans cells in the skin. You know, inflammation is a reason that we have aging skin, that we have wrinkles. So all of these things have been looked at, and through the endocannabinoid system, we can even have healthier skin. In fact, they're looking at CBD affecting cancer cells of the skin from metastasizing as well. So a lot of people ask me, what about the long-term use of CBD? You know, and human studies are considered really the best level of evidence, and they've done studies, and recent studies show that long-term use of CBD is safe and effective, even at high doses of 1,500 milligrams a day. And I say that's a high dose because I've run into very few people that need that much CBD on a daily dose, but studies have shown that it's safe and effective even at high dosage. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to now talk about some products that can be used to put our bodies back in balance, to put our endocannabinoid system back in balance. You may ask, well, what gets our endocannabinoid system out of balance? What happens? Well, environmental triggers and stress, like the air we're breathing, the water we're drinking. You know, during this pandemic and social unrest, our anxiety levels are so high. That gets our endocannabinoid system out of balance. The food we're eating, the processed food we're eating, the fried food we're eating can get our body out of balance. The sleep deprivation. You know, our body needs sleep to reset our immune system. Our immune system is needed the most now than ever before during this pandemic, you know? So getting that rapid eye movement sleep, that REM sleep to reset our immune system. All of these things cause our body to be out of balance. So I want to introduce you to our company, which is Wakanna, our story, our co-founders, what makes our products different, what makes our company different, our movement, and our culture. So these are the 4 co-founders of Wakanna. And the key to freedom is business ownership. We'll talk about that much later, but I want you to meet the leaders here of Wakanna. Our CEO is Melissa Boston, and I just want to pause and just let you know that we are the only minority female-owned CBD company in Illinois. We've launched our business a year ago. We've done 2.4 million in revenues in that short year, and truly, our vision is to educate our community about getting past the negative stigma that this plant has caused our communities really to lose out on the health and the wealth benefits that the plant affords us. So Melissa Boston, our CEO, brings to us over 29 years of experience. She is a visionary behind Wakanna. She has 29 years of experience in direct sales, 16 years or more in corporate America. In fact, she fired her boss at the age of 32 and a half years old. She is a social media strategist. She's built businesses in over 40 countries. She's trained over 50,000 distributors. She truly is the vision behind Wakanna. And then myself, Dr. Rita McGuire, I'm the Chief Medical Officer here at Wakanna. I bring to you over 30 years of healthcare experience in the field of OB-GYN. Our president is Dr. Patricia Van Pelt. She's a state senator serving her 3rd term here in Illinois, businesswoman, evangelist, powerhouse. And then our chief sales officer, Phyllis Nash, on the far right, brings to us over 30 years, not only in the restaurant industry, the real estate industry, the liquor industry, but more importantly, all 4 of us have been in this industry for the last 3 years. We all 4 have worked together. We've built another cannabis company in the past, but we felt that it was imperative to start our own Wakanna, to really have a clear vision and mission for those communities that have been hit hard on drugs, to bring them the information that this plant has a side of it, the hemp species has a side of it that can bring us health and wealth. So an FDA disclaimer before we talk about our products are that these statements and products have not been approved by the FDA. The FDA has not regulated this industry. So if you're pregnant, nursing, or medication, please consult with your physician prior to taking any cannabis products. So our product line is here. Our power line on the left is our full spectrum line. That means that the products contain the legal limit of THC. All of our products are extracted from the hemp species. All of our products are organic. All of our products are third-party validated and tested. So our power line contains the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less. It is another way of using the whole plant. And then we have our pure line on the right, which is our broad spectrum product. It contains less than 0.0% of THC. It does contain the other cannabinoids, but the pure product line is a line for those who may have random drug screens at their job. And so it's critical in this industry, the CBD side, to have certificates of analysis. And why I say it's critical, because the FDA is not regulating this industry yet. They're very, very close. And so Wakanna has taken the commitment and the integrity to have certificates of analysis on every single one of our products. The reason why it's critical is because you need to know that the product that you're consuming is free from mold, mildew, heavy metals, pesticides, and the potency of that product is accurate. So each product, we show you the potency, the milligram for milligram, and the other testings that's done to ensure to all of our clients that our products are safe and effective. So let's look at some of our tinctures. Tinctures are an oil you place underneath your tongue. Our first tincture is our hemp Pranium MD, is more of our therapeutic product, 750 milligrams of CBD in the entire 15 ml bottle. I always recommend you start low and slow when you're trying to get that endocannabinoid system back in balance, when you're trying to address different challenges that you may have in life. 3 drops in the morning and 3 drops in the evening. Now, for the oil to be effectively absorbed in the bloodstream, it's important to hold it for 60 seconds. 60 seconds allows those glands underneath the tongue to absorb the oil in your bloodstream. Our next product is our Hempranium 500 milligrams, 500 milligrams of CBD in a 15 ml bottle. Again, start low and slow, 3 drops in the morning, 3 drops in the evening. A great, great product for moderate to mild conditions that you may want to address. Or maybe you're someone on the line like myself. I'm not on any medications. I don't have any medical issues, but I use it for not only prevention, to prevent those things from happening in the future, but also to address things like stress, anxiety, and insomnia, which we all are facing. And then our pure tincture is our pure nano hempranium. 300 milligrams of CBD in a 15 ml bottle. This is a broad spectrum product containing less than 0.0% THC, a great product for those who have random drug screens at their job. Our technology for delivery in our pure nano hempranium is called nanotechnology. Many of you may have heard of nanotechnology in different industries, like a drug like chemotherapy, where they use it a lot. It causes the molecule to become more available to the cells. So it causes the CBD molecule to become more water soluble, which it makes it more available on a cellular level. So this product has a 98.7% bioavailability. And then we have our topicals. Topicals are products you can place directly on an area of discomfort. It will offer faster relief. So as that tincture is kicking in, you take our topicals and you rub it on those areas that's causing discomfort. And what I love about our topicals are that topicals do not pass the blood-brain barrier. That means they will not get into the bloodstream to cause a positive urine test. So even though these are power products containing 0.3% or less of THC, you can use these products if you have random drug screens and not worry about testing positive. So our topical products are in a oil form, our Dr. Rita's rub, and then they're in the cream form. I use the Dr. Rita's rub, the liquid form, because I like liquids more than creams. That's just my preference. I use it before my workouts so that I can have an optimal workout and not have to stop and rub that right knee or that left shoulder or that lower back. I also put it on during the night, so I'm not waking up at night with discomfort. And then we have our gummies. Our gummies are amazing because our gummies are vegan, they're non-GMO, they are also infused. That means that the CBD is just not on the outside, but it's infused within the entire gummy. I eat a gummy every night. I love my gummies to help me sleep. Gummies also address the same thing that CBD addresses, all the medicinal benefits from anxiety to inflammation to pain to helping to improve your sleep, to help and improve even your libido. Yes, CBD, we talked about this, right? The endocannabinoid system has receptors in every organ and gland of our body, even those reproductive organ and glands that are responsible for sex drive and libido and things like that. So each gummy of the power is 25 milligrams of CBD. It's a full spectrum product. So if you have drug screens at your job, you want to use our broad spectrum gummies, our pure gummies, which are 20 milligrams of CBD per gummy. These gummies come either in a 20 count pack on the power or a 4 count pack, or in our broad, a 25 count pack or a 5 count package. So gummies take about 30 to 90 minutes to get into the bloodstream to work. So that's why it's important about 30 minutes before you're trying to get that REM sleep in, that restorative sleep, that sleep that's going to help reset your immune system. You want to use a gummy. Start with half of a gummy. If you need the other half, then use it. But know that our gummies are infused and not coated, so they are potent and effective. Our CBD joints and cartridges, again, another way to get CBD into your bloodstream. This is a fast-acting product. These products work within 1 to 5 minutes, right? Our CBD joint gives you 106 milligrams of CBD, so please don't smoke the whole joint in one sitting. No one needs that much CBD in one sitting. 1 to 3 pulls is enough. Our Raspberry Jane cartridge is 100 milligrams in a 0.5 ml cartridge. And then our Power Hypnotic is 250 milligrams in a 0.5 ml cartridge. So more is not better. When you have an acute issue you want to address, the CBD joints and cartridges are a way to go, as the other products are working in your bloodstream, like the tinctures, the topicals, the gummies. The CBD joint, I've had a lot of success with those who are smokers. Yes, those who smoke nicotine cigarettes. Because CBD can come in and block the reward center in the brain, can block the cravings, can even block the withdrawal symptoms that you have when you're trying to come off of cigarettes. CBD is used each time you have that urge. Been very successful. Then we have our culinary line. Yes. We have CBD in spices, our garlic fire, our flavor king, our chili lime. I use these seasonings every single day in my omelets. Love it. I use them every day to season my chicken, my turkey, my fish. A great way to use in the kitchen. And then our Power Water Soluble. I use it to infuse in my water, in my smoothies. It is a water-soluble product, so you don't have to hold it underneath your tongue. I love this product for seniors who maybe have dementia and don't understand cognitively that they have to hold something underneath their tongue for 60 seconds before they swallow. So the Power Water Soluble can be used in beverages and food. Again, start low and slow. 3 drops in the morning, 3 drops in the evening is a great way that's going to give you about 10 milligrams of CBD on a daily dose. Just know you can go as high as 15 drops twice a day. Our Power Culinary Plus, another power product that you can bake with. Yes, you can cook with. Just make sure you don't bake or cook over 350 degrees. Otherwise, you just cook off and bake off all the potency in the product. And you don't want to do that. You want to continue to have that potency. And then the CBD culinary oil infused with grapeseed is another product that I marinate my fish, I infuse my salad dressings, whatever you're using olive oil for, you can use this oil. Just do not fry chicken with that product. So yes, you can be a Wakanna chef, you can be a Wakanna bud tender in the comforts of your own home by infusing with our products. And then our defense package is so amazing. You know, we can never make claims when we're talking about CBD about curing, mitigating the COVID-19 virus. Okay, but what we can say is that you at this time need to ensure that your immune system is the strongest it can be. See, last Wednesday night, I was diagnosed and was positive for COVID-19. I'm on day 8 of quarantine. I've had not one symptom. I've never had a temperature. The only reason I had to be tested was because one of the nurses on our labor and delivery unit became ill, so everyone had to be tested. So I attribute that to the fact that I eat well, I eat clean, I work out every day, and I use these amazing products. We can't make claims, but what we can say, if this is ever a time to implement these products into your body, to get your endocannabinoid system back in balance, to get the sleep and rest you need to reset the immune system, the time is now. So we have Essential Defense, we have First Defense. These are 2 amazing products. One's a nasal spray that contains 500 milligrams of CBD that you can use. The Essential Defense is just 5 essential oils that you can put in your diffuser. I like diffusing my entire home with essential oils to help to build and boost my immune system. So there are different ways that you can take part of these products. We have packages, and we feel that it's very important to have packages so that you can get huge savings on these amazing products. Our Power Essential package means that these are all power products. Our gummies, our pre-rolls, our tinctures, and our topicals, saving over $121. Our Pure package is another package for those who have random drug screens at their job. It's all pure products. Again, the topicals do not pass the blood-brain barrier, saving over $107. And then our Variety package, giving you a variety of power and pure products, topicals and tinctures and gummies, saving over $117. And then our Defense pack, saving over $140, giving you the essential oils. We offer eucalyptus, peppermint tea tree. We also have the black seed oil along with our First Defense and Essential Defense, as well as our Immune Defense tea. So I'm going to open it up for questions now. Typically at the end of our Lunch and Learn, there are 3 sorts of people. Person number 1 is a customer. You're excited. You want to improve your health, your quality of life in a holistic, organic way. Now you understand the difference between hemp and marijuana. Now you understand our CBD products won't get you high. You understand it's the health without the high. You understand that. You want to be a customer. Maybe you're person number 2. You still have questions. That's why I'm going to open the line for questions. You can type your questions in the chat box. Or maybe you're person number 3 and you want to hear more about the opportunity to have an additional stream of income And we're going to talk to those people after I take those questions. So I'm going to stop sharing so I can see the questions in the chat box. You're just going to put your questions right in the chat box and let me know, or the Q&A box, whichever. And let me know if you have questions. What do you recommend for menopause? Great, great question. So we talk about the endocannabinoid system, and we talk about the fact that these receptors are everywhere. And menopause can cause a lot of symptoms, right? I'm menopausal. It can cause irritability. It can cause sleep deprivation, insomnia, because we're having hot flashes, mood swings. It can cause a lack of estrogen, or menopause is a lack of estrogen, and a lack of estrogen causes vaginal dryness. So it's very painful for some of my patients to have intercourse because of vaginal dryness. It can also cause a loss of libido or a decrease in libido. It can cause osteoporosis. All of these things. It can cause an increase in urinary tract infections because we need that estrogen to line not only our bladder, but we need the estrogen to line our vagina. So CBD has receptors in those organs and glands of the reproductive tract. So using our tincture twice a day, using our gummies at night to sleep, and if you have issues with libido or vaginal dryness, the CBD lube we offer is an amazing product that you can use to not only enhance the libido, but enhance the sexual encounter. So the CBD lube, I would recommend. Our tincture, either the Hempranium MD or the Hempranium 500, or if you have random drug screens, the pure Hempranium. The gummy, either a power or pure gummy at night. Those are the 3 products I would recommend for menopause. Great, great question. Any concerns about interactions with any prescription medications? Great question, Marcus. Yes, there are a couple of medications that if you are on, you need to let your physician know that you're using CBD. It doesn't mean you can't use CBD. It just means that your doctor needs to monitor your blood levels a little closer. Those medications are Coumadin or warfarin. It's a blood thinner. So if you're on a blood thinner, you need to let your physician know. If you're on the blood thinner where you're getting your INRs checked, you need to let your physician know so they can check your INRs a little bit more closely. The second medication is called theophylline. Theophylline is a medication we use for asthmatic patients. Your theophylline levels need to be checked a little bit more closely. And then there's a third medication, clozapine, that is used for childhood seizures. So if you're a parent and you decide you want your child on CBD, then those levels may need to be checked a little bit more closer. If you're on medication, your doctor is a great person to lock arms with so that your doctor can be involved in the fact that, hey, doc, I want to decrease some of these medications I'm on. I even want to eliminate some of these medications I'm on. And I want to use CBD because I found out that CBD has been shown in over 20,000 peer-reviewed articles to help with these lists of challenges that I have in my life now. You know, I'm hypertensive, I'm diabetic, I'm asthmatic, I have heart disease, I have high cholesterol. Whatever your condition or challenges are, you know, go to your doctor and say, listen, I want to start decreasing my medication or even eliminating some of them. I want to take a natural, holistic approach to my health. I am committed to change my diet. I'm committed to start getting activity, walking or bike riding. I'm committed to these holistic options, and I need you to work with me. And 99% of the physicians will say yes, absolutely. There's that less than 1% that says absolutely not, and that's probably when you need to start looking for a new doctor. If you are on medications, we like for you to take your medications as prescribed, and then 1 to 2 hours later is when you're going to use your CBD product. My uncle started radiation yesterday for stage 3 or 4 prostate cancer. I want to send him some of our products to help him during his aggressive process. What do you recommend from our oils? Well, folks who are undergoing radiation or any treatment for cancer probably has a stress and anxiety level going on that is out of this world, right? So one thing you want to offer your uncle is the ability to sleep and to reduce the stress. We cannot make claims, right? So you never want to go to your uncle and say, this CBD product is going to cure your cancer, right? We can't say that. But what we can say is that CBD product is going to assist you with symptoms that you are now having because of this cancer, right? And so my recommendation would be the tincture, the topical, and the gummies, because most cancer patients, from my experience, my dad passed away from prostate cancer, have pain. They have pain in the bones and the joints. They have anxiety. They have depression. They have insomnia. So you want to help to bring the quality of your uncle's life back up as high as you can. And the quality of life is addressed by using the Hempranium MD or Hempranium 500 tincture, the power gummies, and of course the topical pain relief cream. So definitely purchasing either the power essential pack or the pure essential pack. I assume your uncle is probably not undergoing any random drug screens, so the power essential pack would be a great pack and a great savings for that matter for him. Yes, I agree. I'm a colon cancer survivor, so I understand the struggle. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that question. I'm going to take one more question. And if you're on the line and you have been invited by someone, I want you to connect with them and tell them thank you. Tell them if you're number 1, which is a customer, if you're number 2, if you still have questions. And if you're on the line and you're a number 3, you want to know more about the opportunity, then you hang on with me and I'm going to go over our business. If you're not interested in the business, then please contact the person who invited you. Invite more of your friends and family tomorrow at noon for our lunch and learn. Invite them to our evening webinar tonight at 8 to get more information. Just connect with the person so that they can really get you engaged with our movement here at Wakanna. So I'm going to proceed for those who want to hear about the opportunity. Let's see here. And you can, as we're going through, you can absolutely put those questions in the chat box. So what is the big deal about cannabis? Well, the big deal is its explosive growth. The North American legal sales of this plant is expected to exceed $22 billion. That's a 700% growth since 2015. That's why it's a big deal. And so we understand that this trend is huge. We know that the dispensary business is huge, but the only problem with trying to own a marijuana dispensary or either recreational or medicinal is that you need at minimum $1 million. So it's cost prohibitive. It's also highly regulated, you know, and so we offer here at Wakanna a business where we know that the key to freedom is business ownership. And so what makes Wakanna different? Well, Wakanna is a home-based hybrid of a micro franchise and a network marketing company. And we are a hybrid. We're not a pyramid. A pyramid is a company that does not sell a product or a service, but you are buying positions. A pyramid is when I tell you that if you come in at $500, then the next person that comes in at $500 will allow you to make $1,000. Our products are amazing. That what it also makes our business different is that we have products that have been third-party tested, and our products work, and our products are effective and safe. In other network marketing companies, they pay down to infinity, right? We pay down 7 levels deep. Why 7 levels? Because our CEO, who has been in the industry for over 29, 30 years, understand that when most people sign in and join these companies, they don't make any money, right? Because the company has to pay down to infinity. Some other differences is that we don't have a business startup fee. We don't charge you for your website or have hosting fees for a website. There's no required auto ships. There's no balancing of legs, no quotas, no shipping cost. And your business is willable. So we know that this industry of cannabis is the next wealth creating industry we're going to see in our lifetime. We have not only customer support, but we have education that is off the chain. We have a whole Wakanna University, which is your source of cannabis education. We have a shared wealth revenue pool where you get to share between 4 and 6% of our revenue every single month as a leader. And being your own boss means you spend more time with family, but more importantly, we offer an unlimited income potential. So when we look at our business plan, and let's see if we can get the slide to change, which is good. So there's 7 ways to earn income here at Wakanna. We're going to talk about those 7 ways through our online dispensary, through our shared wealth pool, through our brokers' earnings, through our brokers' overrides, through our retail sales, through our car allowance, and through our free trips. Those are the 7 ways that you earn income. So let's look at our online dispensary. When you lock arms with us at Wakanna, you are able to earn money without holding any inventory when you have your own online CBD website. You earn in fact between 20 and 50% commission on sales each time your customers come to your website and shop. We offer free shipping with orders during this pandemic with orders over $50, and you're getting affordable, natural, organic, and tested products. We also offer a 30-day free test drive. Yes, a 30-day free test drive where you can send customers to your website. But what we require of you is that you get certified through our Wakanna University within the 30 days to continue earning your commissions. So when you come in to Wakanna, there are 3 different packages that can be purchased. We talked about a free test drive. The other is a full crown jewel dispensary. A full crown jewel dispensary is $998. It includes $1,500 worth of retail products. It also includes 1 broker key activation, which means you can go out and give away as many 30-day free test drive website as your heart desires. You get 2 vouchers to our Wakanna University. That's your source of cannabis education. You also advance to Sapphire for 6 months. As long as you keep your website active for the entire year, you have a lifetime crown jewel commissions on 2 levels. Each time you sell a crown jewel, full crown jewel dispensary, you earn $200. As a business partner, you get bonuses from $5 to $50 paid up to 7 levels each time your business partners come in and sell full crown jewel dispensaries. Our other two packages are our millennial and our stimulus packages. They value at $500. And I meant to tell you, this particular full crown jewel dispensary values at $2,000. Your price is $998. Our other starter packs are $500 values. They're $199. What do they include? They include $200 worth of retail products. Now, the millennial package is kind of geared more for those millennials, so it has more of the pre-rolls and cartridges in them. You don't have to be a millennial to purchase it. And our stimulus package is geared more toward baby boomers like myself, but you don't have to be a baby boomer to purchase it. It will provide more products that baby boomers are looking for, right? More topicals for our aches and pains and tinctures and gummies. This package also includes a broker key activation where you can go out and give as many online 30-day free test drives to as many people as you want. It also includes one Wakanna University admission. It gives you that lifetime crown jewel limited compensation or commission that you're getting for a lifetime on at least 2 levels as long as you keep your website active. Each time you sell one of these packages as a sponsor, you earn $40. And of course, as you start to build a team, you will receive bonuses from $4 to $20 paid up 7 levels. Our admission to our Wakanna University can be purchased a la carte. You may be on the line and want to do that 30-day free test drive and want to get that education out of the way. The Wakanna University is $199. What will you learn? Well, you'll learn about social media marketing. You'll learn how to build a customer base. You'll learn how to make money in edibles, how to infuse. You'll learn about cannabis investing. I'll teach you everything about CBD that your heart desires. You'll learn about compliance. It's really big with Wakanna. You know, how do you compliantly explain CBD in a compliant way? How do you, in a compliant way, share our business? You'll also learn about the compensation, really how to make the money. And then our shared wealth pool is another stream of income, one of the 7 ways. Now, our shared wealth pool is the opportunity for our leaders to share in the revenue of our business each and every month. So our leaders start at a sapphire dispensary. That is a dispensary that has $10,000 in sales in 1 calendar month. A ruby dispensary is $25,000 in sales in 1 calendar month, and an emerald dispensary is $50,000 in sales in 1 calendar month. Now, when you make those sort of sales, the efforts cannot just be you. So when you do $10,000 in sales as a sapphire dispensary, the efforts have to come from you and at least 2 or more other business partners. Now, it can be 50, it could be 100, but it has to be at least 2 or more. Now, our diamond leaders. 1-star diamond is $100,000 in sales in 1 calendar month, all the way up to 5-star diamond, which is $1 million in sales in 1 calendar month. And you can see at the top of the slide, it says a 3rd rule applies. That means that the efforts of those sales as a 1-star diamond at $100,000 cannot come just from you. It has to be the efforts of you and at least 3 or more business partners in your team that have done that in sales. So what happens at the end of the month? Very exciting. The company takes 4% and places it in a pool. We then figure out how many outstanding shares are there amongst our sapphires, rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. And we place it in a pool. And at the end of the month, you share in 4% of the revenues. Exciting. One step further, once you hit diamond, you get an additional 2% of the company's revenue. So again, we put all the diamonds in a pool. We figure out how many outstanding shares there are amongst 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star diamond. In fact, we have 3 1-star diamonds in our company as we speak. and we give them 2% of the revenue. So how many people out there, I want you to put in the chat box, get 4 or 6% of your company's revenue at the end of every month? I want to see how many people out there have that at their company. And then our car allowance. This is the sixth way that we pay out here at Wakanna. $500 is given toward any car note to all active diamonds. They get that monthly. You don't get a Mercedes-Benz, but you do get $500 toward any car note. And then to qualify for our annual trip to the motherland, once this pandemic has settled down and simmered down, we're going to the motherland, to South Africa. So you must achieve diamond status for at least 2 consecutive months to qualify. So this is our compensation plan, a very unique plan that Wakanna has, a hybrid between a micro franchise and a network marketing company, a position that you want to really consider during this time, during this pandemic. Millions of people are out of work. Having an additional stream of income is so important, because if you continue to think that you're going to work the rest of your life, you will probably continue to work the rest of your life. You need to find a stream of income where you can make residual income even while you're asleep. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to take questions about our compensation plan, about our opportunity. You can either type it in or put it in the chat box. That's your only option, is to type it in. You can unmute yourself as well. I meant to tell you, you can unmute yourself if you have any questions. So if there's any guests on the line, if you can unmute yourself, I'd like to hear who invited you, at least. If not, you can type it in the chat section. I am going to ask, Dr. Crawford to unmute herself. And I want her to unmute herself because as a healthcare professional, I just want to hear why you said yes to Wakanna and why you feel that having alternative to your health in a holistic, organic way is so important during these times. Dr. Crawford, are you out there?
Yes, Dr. Rita, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, well, I am excited because when I was exposed to the business back in December, I realized that I didn't know enough from training about CBD. And so it was amazing for me to be able to offer myself, family, and, recommend to some of my patients an alternative method to control some of their symptoms. So I was excited about that. And then also wanted to get a stream of income. No one knew that COVID was coming up.
Right.
So to, do another stream of income that you can wield to your legacy was another thing that I saw. But the biggest thing was I always love when you say the health without the high. That is the best thing that I love about the company. And my dog wants to talk right now.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we don't have CBD products for pets, but simmer down, dog. Thank you so much, Dr. Tyus. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, if there's no other questions, if there's no other comments, if you're on the line and you feel impelled to say something, you can unmute yourself and say something. But I do want to invite all of you tonight to our presentation, which is going to be at 8 p.m. tonight. And I was trying to find that slide, but if you're on the line, you can get that information from the person who invited you.
8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, thank you, Kathy. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So have an amazing rest of your weekend. I mean, your afternoon. It's only Wednesday, Dr. Rita. It's not the weekend yet. I am so looking forward for the weekend because I'll be out of quarantine. So I'm really trying to rush this.
Yay.
I'm feeling great, no symptoms, but we will see you all tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. Rita.
Thank you, Dr. Rita.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Dr.
joining.
Rita.
You're welcome. Thank you, Cora, Kathy, Fatima, Minister Mooney, Shirley, Brenda. Thank you, everyone, for joining.